Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam and welcome to a new dragging video. I just want to apologize in advance. There are a lot of people here who are working on this refurb of our house and they are so loud. They're always yelling, shouting. Please just ignore any background noise that you hear. It can't be helped. I've already told off a bunch of them today, like, you guys are really loud and I can't chill. Okay, so just ignore any background noise that you hear. So today we have a new dragging video, but before we do the dragging stories, let's talk about how Louis Vuitton has been dragged for the very epic Murakami Meltdown fail from last Friday. I wanted to think about it on the weekend because it was just such a fail. I have a marketing company, I have e-commerce websites. This is my wheelhouse. Some of you were telling me, oh, maybe Louis Vuitton did this on purpose. No one wants a launch like the launch that they had on Friday. No business. It doesn't matter if you're a luxury brand. It doesn't matter if you're ASOS or Zara. No one wants that launch. It was a mess. I have a lot of critiques of the launch, but at the end of the day, this obviously has been a very successful launch for them because the demand has been insane and people are desperate to buy these bags and to buy these pieces from this collection. And it seems like the only country that had a smooth launch was Japan, which makes sense. Takashi Murakami is Japanese, so maybe they wanted to make sure it goes well for him. But it was a meltdown in most other regions. I think in the Middle East, the collection maybe wasn't as popular because I did see some TikTokers from the Middle East saying that there weren't as many people trying to buy it in the UAE, for example. But other than that, it was pretty much sold out across the world and impossible to get. I have a bunch of critiques I want to share about the launch with you guys. I think the first thing that I'd like to criticize is the nomination only bags, so the bags that were only for VIPs, like the mink bum bag, or the items like the Lozine, the petite valise, the capucine with the super flat panda on it in pink. Those shouldn't have been in the lookbook. If you know that people cannot buy the item, don't put it in the lookbook. That is for general Louis Vuitton clientele. Make a VIP only lookbook and say that these are only for the top tier clients of the house. That way people don't get their hopes up that they're going to get items. I was really irritated by the fact that some of these nomination pieces or VIP only pieces were in the general lookbook, and then on Friday they didn't get uploaded onto the website. Like the mink bum bag, if you're not a VIP at Big LV, sorry, we're going to talk about Big H in a minute in the video today, but if you're not a VIP at Big LV, you're not going to be able to buy that. There's a Glamazon who fought really hard and managed to get one. Shout out to her. I shared her story on Instagram because she said it was okay on Instagram stories, but it was really, really hard. And she's not a VIP at Louis Vuitton, but it seems like her CA wanted that exotic commission, okay? So made it happen. This was a mess and they need to take some ownership of it. The second thing which I want to say is I have seen some videos of people talking about they think that, Louis Vuitton wants to be super exclusive. Louis Vuitton has always been exclusive. So this is nothing new. I've seen people say that, does Louis Vuitton want to be like Big H or whatever? I mean, Louis Vuitton and Big H operate on the same level. They're in the same sphere, if you will. Big H's competition is Louis Vuitton, it's Chanel, it's Dior, it's Gucci. So I mean, I don't really understand those critiques because I think at the end of the day, Louis Vuitton is a top tier luxury brand. The second thing which I wanted to critique and drag about this launch is that I don't actually have an issue with VIPs getting access to the best pieces first. I think it's only fair that the top spenders of the house get access to the best pieces of the house first. I think it's only fair that they get a first look. I don't think it's fair if client A spends $70,000 per annum at Louis Vuitton or 100K, and if you spend under 5,000, I don't think that you should be allowed to leapfrog the person who spends more money. I think it's completely fair. My only beef is the VIP only, nomination only pieces should not have been in that general lookbook that we have all seen. And they shouldn't even have bothered to share codes for those pieces because it got people's hopes up that maybe they were going to get some pieces. And then there were other pieces which weren't only for VIPs, but very hot pieces like the Nano Speedy, the Speedy 25, the pochette accessoire. those pieces were going to a lot of influencers having these big, like, lavish, luxurious influencer unboxings, but a lot of the client unboxing packaging isn't the same as the lavish influencer unboxings. There's nothing wrong with PR packages. Again, in my line of work, an influencer is going to get a lavish PR package, that's fine, but a lot of the packaging, the actual packaging itself, like the box, looked really different to me. I don't know, I just kind of feel like they missed an opportunity here to, like, really do something, because this is the one collection that didn't need influencers. This is the one collection that was going to sell itself. Frankly, none of those influencers are not going to influence anyone to go and buy it, because the people who want to buy it are going to buy it anyway. So I think that the critiques of Louis Vuitton are fair. However, I differ on the concept that Louis Vuitton doesn't have the right to be exclusive. If Big H can be exclusive and say, baby, I need $20,000 of your pension money in order to give you a mini Kelly, I think Louis Vuitton have every right to say, I am also going to create a game, as like, if you will, in order for people to purchase these items. I think we need to keep the same energy. I think a lot of people who are criticizing Louis Vuitton don't have that same energy for Big H. If you think that Louis Vuitton was wrong for this, you should also be dragging Big H for their shenanigans and their games. And all of these luxury brands have these tiers and these requirements. And like I said, if someone spends more, they have every right to have a first look at the collection. But I do not think that means they have the right to hog the collection. My biggest criticism is the nomination only, VIP only bags, the mink bum bag, the lozine, which isn't a bag, but you know what I'm saying, those pieces that were just for VIPs, that VIPs bought first, I would like Louis Vuitton to take it seriously. And if those pieces find themselves on Fashion File at resellers, those people should be banned. I don't think it's right for you to buy these really exclusive limited edition pieces and then be like, I've changed my mind, you guys, or I have different views now, you guys, or vintage is the way to go. If you always thought that, you wouldn't have bought this brand new collection. So for the most part, I think Louis Vuitton deserved to get her skull dragged. But I also think some people are saying things just to say it to make themselves feel better. I've seen a lot of comments saying, oh, I have the original release. So I wouldn't bother like buying this because I have the original release. Okay, I don't know. Do you want a cookie for having the original release? Do you want a trophy? No one wins a trophy for having the original release. I definitely think, me personally, if you ask me, I think that the new pieces look way nicer than the vintage pieces. I think that the colorways look really saturated. I think they look really vibrant. I think anyone who has managed to get anything, even the troll pieces, because there were some troll items in this collection, the notebook, which I love, by the way, and then the passport cover, the coffee cup. And when I say troll, I mean it in a good way. They were like these small little pieces. They all sold out. If you're someone who's like, well, I think vintage is the way to go, please don't go and rain on people's parades, on people's unboxing videos of people unboxing their new pieces. Those comments are really annoying. They come across, in my opinion, I actually think they actually come across even more elitist than the way Louis Vuitton launched this collection, if you ask me. Louis Vuitton deserves to be dragged for how this collection was launched, but I think it's super annoying to go on someone's Murakami unboxing and be like, well, I have the vintage release and I'm glad I'm not wasting my money on this. Well, someone's really happy that they got something from this collection. Let's be happy for them. Don't come and rain on people's parades just because you are not buying something from this collection. You're not getting a trophy, you're not getting an Olympic medal, and you're not getting £1 million because you didn't buy anything from the collection. Okay, it's a beautiful collection. Anyone who got anything from this collection, you are so lucky. I wish I could have gone to Johannesburg to see the collection. I know that from what I have been told, it did very well in the Louis Vuitton boutiques in South Africa. So, you know, it was a huge success for them, but I think that they made a lot of mistakes. I was playing around on Instagram stories, telling the Glamzons on Instagram, like, someone's getting fired, okay, at the Paris HQ in Pont Neuf, because the rollout was not good. It wasn't a good rollout, but hopefully they will learn from it and move forward. So tell me what you think about that. Without further ado, let's go into the dragging video for today. Let's start off here at the Big H boutique at Georges V in Paris, France. The service there is worse than any street vendor. It was raining all day when I was there. I bought a few things. My essay didn't even give me a plastic cover for our shopping bags. As I step out of the store, Everything was wet. Louis Vuitton ended up giving us plastic covers for our Big H bags. Terrible manners from Big H. Welcome to George Sang, boo boo. Welcome to the Avenue George Sang store. On my next trip, I will not be going to this store. So I thought it could be funny to read dragging stories because I will not be going back. It is not a pleasant shopping experience. The next one is the George Sang location. I recently had the unfortunate experience of visiting this branch. I must say it was utterly disappointing. I was met with a pretentious air and of elitism that was nothing short of off-putting. The staff were very unhelpful and very rude. I was met with disdainful glances and the minimal effort to assist me. It was as if they believed they were doing me a favor. I strongly advise anyone considering shopping at this store to think twice. There's nothing that could be said. You know, it's not a pleasant shopping experience there. I have never had a nice shopping experience there. Even the October experience wasn't particularly pleasant. It was okay out of the three, but it wasn't like a fun, nice shopping experience. I'm not surprised to hear people talking about it like this. The next one is the Avenue George Sang Big H Boutique, Paris, France. I'm so upset on how me and my husband were treated. The SA and the cashier were literally scolding us. We have come from Dubai, and even the staff... hold on, wait. We've come from Dubai. I've been to Big H in London. I've been to the one in Nice. I've never been threatened to be sued because I made a video of my own purchase. Even if they had told me not to film, it could have been said nicely because I'm a spending customer. Don't go to this branch. Other ones in Paris are much kinder. I felt like a clown to be spending so much money than to be told off by a sales cashier. I'm an influencer and filming is my job, and naturally France is a democracy. So it should be allowed. Horrible service. Save yourself the insults. Okay, so I think a few things is, for those of you who haven't been to the George Sang Big H boutique, there are signs, and the George Sang Big H store is the only one of the 3 Parisian stores that has this little emblem on it that has like a camera with a with a line through it. I saw it on the first floor when I was looking at the baby items and speaking to the SA on my previous trip. I had taken pictures and people were taking pictures. So I think that the problem also with Big H is that they're not like consistent about the picture only policy. There was a time where if you took your camera out of FSH a few years ago, you got told off. The security would run over to you like a pterodactyl and fly over there and tell you off. But now in Faubourg, everyone films the displays. At Faubourg, it's just like this. Everyone is like this at Faubourg and no one cares. It's the same thing at Severus. I feel like they're a little bit more sensitive about pictures and videos at the George Sang store just because it's a little bit more like, it feels cramped to me. The Severus store feels a little bit more open. I feel like it's easier to take pictures in there and videos in there, so maybe she should have gone there. I've never been told off for taking a picture or a video at any of the 3 Big H stores, but I do know in George Sang they don't like it. But no, Big H is a private business. They have every right to tell you not to film, so she can't be like, France is a democracy, they have to allow me to film. And if you're an influencer and it's your job, well, boo-hoo, go do it somewhere else. Okay, I don't know if I agree with that completely. So, you know, I don't know, it's a tough one. The next one is the Louis Vuitton Champs-Elysees boutique. I strongly advise against visiting this particular store. It had incompetent employees. In my case, more than an hour of time was wasted and I left without buying anything. Why? Because you'll be harassed based on your nationality, or did you know you won't be able to pay with your husband's card even when buying perfume? In general, think about where you're giving your money and if the brand is worth supporting. I give this a well-deserved 1. I think that there are a few issues with this, and the issue is that, like, I think because of fraud, they don't like it if you come and use your husband or your boyfriend or your partner's card. But I think also they should be a little bit realistic. A lot of couples like share finances completely. So maybe your partner, your boyfriend, your husband will be like, take my card and go shopping. I don't see why that should be an issue, but I can see why at the same time that they are kind of sensitive about it. The next place is the Champs-Elysees Louis Vuitton. The store was absolutely gorgeous. I can see why this is the flagship. The service was terrible. We've never been so disappointed. My boyfriend were at the boutique for an hour. When we arrived, the greeter was so sweet and left us a great impression. The greeters are always nice, but they can't help you. It took around 25 minutes before someone approached us. An SA asked us if we were being helped. We said no. Then she brought another SA to help us. The SA then told us to get off the sofa and to follow her into another room. I told her the products we're looking for. She said she'll be back in 2 minutes. She never returned. My boyfriend and I sat in an area where all employees went into a small back room to get champagne and coffee for guests. They walked past us, didn't look at us, didn't ask us if we were being assisted. We felt very disrespected. We did not dress in luxurious items that day and wore normal travel clothes as we're on holiday and didn't want to attract unwanted attention. Honey, you need to be watching this channel and you should watch my Paris videos because you know where this is going. I'm not sure if this influenced their treatment of us. It did. When we got out of our seats to look for the SA, another couple sat in our seat and I watched an SA walk up to them and offer them coffee while they waited. This was a slap in the face. We left the store. Made me feel like this is what they wanted us from the beginning. Moral of the story: if you're a foreigner and dressed in normal travel clothing, you might not receive the 5-star service that others have received. Nonetheless, the store is gorgeous. You know, it's a tough one, guys. I feel like I'm just becoming a broken record. I have told you guys many times. We have had this conversation over and over again to the point where I'm actually just getting tired of repeating myself. So for the love of God and for the love of everything that you guys love about luxury fashion, if you are going to Paris, please just look nice when you go to these stores. They do not know you. They do not care. It is not your home store. No one cares about you. No one cares about your purchase history from Louis Vuitton in your home country. No one cares. And another thing is like what she was saying, how they didn't want to attract unwanted attention. People in Paris are well dressed. Like Parisians are well dressed. Like a casual Parisian look is like a high-end look in London. You know what I mean? Or a casual Parisian look is like a high-end look in New York. So I think just pull together and look chic and elegant going to these stores. And I know there are going to be people coming up in these comments saying they turned up naked and they wore trackies and turned up in their pants. Don't believe them. They're just saying it to be Pegasus unicorns and to be the annoying people trying to nitpick my videos. I have been to these boutiques in Paris for long enough to see that the people who are well dressed, when you go there looking really nice, you are treated better and offered drinks ASAP. When you go there turning up looking like Raggedy Ann or looking like a Bratz doll that hasn't, put any lip gloss on, you will be dragged very hard. Like this couple was dragged. It wasn't fair the way they were treated. I am willing to bet when they say normal travel clothes, she probably means they were wearing like shorts and like a backpack. Like if you wear raggedy travel clothes, you're going to be treated like Raggedy Ann. So it is what it is. The next one is I'm sorry guys. The next one is Louis Vuitton in the Avenue Montaigne. This was an awful visit, over an hour to get servicing. We find out you need to bring your passport for a discount in a city known for pickpocketing. Also, how hard is it to tell someone if the item's in stock? I saw others that walked after us that got service first. First of all, it is your job to know how the VAT process works. Everyone who goes shopping in the EU Schengen countries knows you have to take your passport physically in order to get the VAT refund. So I don't really understand like why she's having a moan. I don't agree with that. It's your job. It is not the store's job to let you know that. It is your job as a tourist to know that. This is the same location, the Avenue Montaigne, Louis Vuitton. We were assigned an SA who was not helpful, had a lot of attitude. We were there to exchange something, and she immediately told us the bag we wanted was not available, even though we called prior and someone confirmed that they had the item. She indeed had the item. She brought it to us afterwards. I asked if they had champagne. She told us they sold out because they were very busy the day before. Due to the statements not being accurate, I asked someone else. She said, yes, they have no champagne. No one offered us water or coffee or anything else, which to be honest is disgusting customer service. I returned the bag and got the one that was more expensive. As I was leaving, I heard an SA tell another customer if they wanted something to drink, which should have been asked us as well in the beginning. We went to Dior, blah, blah, blah. I had a great time. And then she's like, we're from Canada. Okay, a few things. First of all, you did not buy anything. You exchanged a bag and you exchange it for a more expensive item, so you probably paid the difference. But it's not like it was like an actual hardcore purchase. So to expect champagne while exchanging a bag, I mean, am I the only person who thinks that the customer is being entitled and is being kind of rude? I also think it's really rude to kind of, you're basically calling the essay a liar, because the first essay has said, we don't have any champagne here. So you're like, oh, you're lying to me. You're a lying cow. So I'm going to ask someone else in front of you. You're going to ask someone else, do you have champagne? You know what I mean? And the other person is going to close ranks around that essay because they can see that you're entitled and you're annoying. And guys, I remember when I had my retail store, the people who spend the most are the easiest people to deal with in the store. The people who are really entitled are not buying a whole lot. Okay, because you came up in there, you're like, I need champagne, I need everyone to give me coffee, I need people to create a restaurant for me right now. But you're just exchanging. You're just exchanging. And then here she says she decided to exchange it for a more expensive bag, maybe because she felt embarrassed. I don't know. I think she's wrong. I think the customer's entitled. Champagne is for customers who are closing purchases, okay, and who are buying things. Champagne is respectfully, is not for people who are coming to exchange or return items, okay? If you're there to like buy something really expensive, like a capucine, a leather bag, I'm sure if you walk into any Louis Vuitton boutique in France and you ask to buy a capucine or any leather bag, I'm sure if they have champagne, they will offer it to you. I'm sure of it. And there's nothing wrong with saying, can I have some champagne? Because they're going to ask you, what would you like to drink? And then at that point you say, I would like to have some champagne. So I think this person's entitled and this person is annoying. The next location is the Big H Boutique in Rome, Italy. Very poor customer service. I understand it was closing time as I wanted to buy cologne. I'm an avid cologne collector that loves these products I can't buy at home. I got to the boutique at 6:50 p.m. I asked what was their best-selling cologne. The SA told me which one. I wanted to buy it and what the price was. She refused to tell me the cologne, saying she doesn't know the price and couldn't register me. I've never been in a store that didn't want to make money. Luckily, I bought cologne from other places. I wouldn't recommend going to this store. They're very rude. My wife bought a 5,000 euro bag literally 15 minutes down the street afterwards. Very sad and disappointing when you want to give a store a chance. First of all, I wouldn't go to a standalone Big H store to buy any of their makeup or perfumes or fragrances. I feel like they really don't like people who come into standalone stores only to buy like a perfume or only to buy makeup. This reminds me of a woman who got dragged at a Big H boutique in America. She walked into a standalone store, like a standalone freestanding store, and the SA was like, can I help you? What are you looking for? And she's like, I want to buy makeup. And the SA was like visibly upset that you're like coming here and you want to waste my time, you just want to buy makeup. Now, I bought makeup in the Copenhagen store and it was fine and it was a great experience, but it was a quiet day. There weren't a lot of people milling around and I wasn't expecting, you know, the red carpet rolled out for me. You know, we were treated very well. They asked us if we want something to drink. They wanted to register me and stuff. That was fine. But I think in these like really busy, somewhere that's, the Rome store I think is one of the largest Big H boutiques in terms of inventory in Europe. I personally wouldn't go to this store or stores like this just to buy like a beauty product or a fragrance, because I do think that they do kind of like I said, the experience I had in Copenhagen I think is a outlier experience. Just bought beauty product and it was a great experience, but I didn't ask for a coat bag, I didn't ask for leather goods, and I was with my cousin. We were excited to be there. My cousin is also Danish. They knew that. Maybe that played a role. So that was an outlier experience, but in general Big H boutiques do not like people coming in to just buy something small. I wouldn't go to the Rome store to buy like perfume or makeup or fragrance. So I'm not surprised he was dragged. Also, the time that he went there, 1850, 6:50 p.m. You know, European stores are very sensitive about closing time. They want to close on time so everyone can go home. You rock up there really late, they're already tired. They don't want to see you, you know, in the boutique. The next one, and this is the final one, is from the Rome store again. This is by far the worst luxury store experience I've ever had. There was a 2-hour line outside of the store. Nobody from the store announced what was occurring. Why the wait? Apparently there was a private event they were hosting. Upon entering the boutique, we were informed we had to wait an unknown amount of time. We were not allowed to enter certain parts of the store. The most ethical thing to do is not to waste people's time and announce that they had a private event. A sign would have successfully achieved this, and do not waste your time. Find a more humbling store. Yeah, this is very unpleasant and very unfortunate. And I really dislike when brands do this. If you know that you have a private event, don't make people wait. Just put a sign outside saying there's a private event, you guys. Like, I'm sorry, no one can access the store, to let people wait, and then people get there and are not even able to have like a nice experience. It's very unpleasant. So I have to say, I'm with the customer on this one. If I look at all the dragging reviews from today, the person who's wrong is the person who went to the Louis Vuitton boutique in Paris and expected champagne because she was doing an exchange. Baby, you are doing an exchange, okay? You have no right to ask for champagne. You're doing an exchange. Technically, you're not actually buying anything because you already purchased the item. And then for her to be like, I exchanged it for a more expensive piece that you maybe paid a little bit of a difference of. I mean, so what? So what you did? And then the gentleman who went to the Rome store to buy the cologne. Again, I just wouldn't go to the Rome store to just pick up a cologne. I probably would have had it shipped to the hotel. You can buy Big H makeup and fragrance at department stores. I would have gone to a department store and just got it there. Like I said, the Copenhagen experience I had was an outlier. It was a unicorn experience, but also me and my cousin didn't ask for handbags and we didn't buy any leather goods. I just bought makeup and we left, and it was a fine experience, and there weren't that many people milling around in the boutique. So maybe that might also play a role as to why it was a decent experience. But I personally, like, if I'm going to like Big H boutique in America, that's like a freestanding store, I wouldn't go out of my way to go there to buy perfume or to buy cologne or makeup, because I just know the way Big H SAs feel about people who are coming to buy fragrance and makeup only. They really dislike it because it's like, oh, the person's only here to buy fragrance, but they want to come to a freestanding store so they can get the orange bag. That's how some SAs see it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just trying to explain it. So I'd love to know what you guys think about everything. What do you think about the dragging stories for today? What do you think about Louis Vuitton getting dragged on the internet as well? Can't wait to hear all of your opinions. If you like these videos, you know what to do. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Sign up for the newsletter so you don't miss out on any of my future emails. They'll be coming out every Friday. I can't wait to hear your opinions on all of the stories. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video.